Good evening, everyone. Would like to call our April 8th Fayetteville City Council meeting to order. Welcome those who are joining us in the audience, those who are joining us virtually and by remote connections. At this time, we'll ask Dr. Lottie McCoy from Lottie McCoy Ministries, if she would please come to the podium and give us our invocation. Ask that everyone would please stand for the prayer. Immediately following, if we could repeat the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening, Dr. McCoy.
Good evening. Almighty God, as we stand before you, we stand in your presence and we reverence you and thank you for your kindness and mercy. As we are gathered here, I ask that you be part of this meeting to guide, to instruct, and to give wisdom concerning tonight's agenda. God, I ask that you keep the city officials reminded that they are not only accountable unto the citizens, but also accountable unto God. I pray that this meeting be meaningful and prosperous for the people in the city of Fayetteville. Now, God, because you know what's best in all matters, I say, let your will be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Dr. McCoy, thank you so much for giving us the prayer. I know you quite well, but if you can, take a moment and just tell us a little bit about yourself and your ministry.
Okay. I represent the Lottie McCoy Ministries outreach, where our vision is to build lives and impact destinies. And we have several outreach ministries. And one of the ministries that we have is a monthly prayer held every fourth Monday for the gatekeepers of the city, which of course include the mayor, city council, among others. And I say it is an honor for me to be part of this great city. And thank you, Mayor Coben, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. McCoy, and thank you for the great work you're doing and the prayers for us most of all. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Council, moving along, I'll go to Councilmember Hondros under the announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to make an announcement for our friends at our hometown utility at PWC. Today is North Carolina Line Worker Appreciation Day, so thank all the good work they do there, keeping our lights on across the city.
Absolutely. Thank you to those guys who go out in some of the worst conditions and make sure that we have power to our homes, so thank you for that. Council, seeing no other announcements at this time, move to recognition. We have some very special guests from right up the street. I see Chancellor Allison and his team. If Chancellor, if you would like to come to the podium. I also would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Mr. Taylor, Ulysses Taylor, Mr. McElveen, a frat brother, the greatest fraternity in the land, Wesley Fountain, and of course, Dr. Colvin. Good to see you. But Chancellor, glad to have you, and I understand you got some exciting things to share with us that our hometown university has been doing.
We do. Mayor, I want to thank you and the members of the council. As I look to my left here to see how we operate, I'm just not that technology inclined. So I got the mouse here, and okay. Yes, it. Right, so right click.
Let's test it out.
Okay, so go back. Hit the left.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Wanted to just give an update. And we're really excited about this update because I think it underscores the power of this partnership that this university, Fayetteville State University, and the city of Fayetteville. So let's begin. So key objectives. City Council approved investment in the new business hub at Fayetteville State University in May 2022. Key objectives is to help accelerate growth among Fayetteville area businesses and enable our underrepresented businesses to participate in that growth. And you all will see kind of your investment, the city's investment, as well as other funding sources to help us to launch this good work. We're very appreciative of the support from the state, Cumberland County as well, Golden Leaf Foundation, and of course our university investing. And we do note the $250,000 that the city of Fayetteville has invested, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, and we have a room dedicated just for the city with your names on it, the Fayetteville conference room. So, what was the purpose? What was the purpose behind the partnership? And I'll just cite kind of the information that you all are aware of. The opportunity, 11% of Fayetteville businesses are black-owned. In 2021, the highest percentage in the nation, higher growth potential for underutilized segment. And you see the 11.2% and 88.8%. Challenge. Great opportunity. Challenge. Less than 5% of City of Fayetteville contracts have been awarded to minority and women at the time, and less than 0.5% among African-American firms. And distribution of city Fayetteville contracts among regional businesses. Again, this is pulling from data in 2018 to 2020. So again, there was a purpose behind the partnership. We're really excited. 2021 was a historic year, if you all remember, that Cumberland County, over $500 million for county projects in total from the state. And we were appreciative of nearly $200 million appropriated capital projects for Fayetteville State University. And again, we were excited, but really excited about the potential, what that meant for the city, this county, and this region. A little bit about our lead in this project here, and that is the fabulous Broadwell College of Business and Economics, empowering economic mobility. We're among the best in the nation MBA programs in the state and nation, online MBA program. We're one of only 13 universities in the nation to be designated as a SAP Next Gen lab. And we have a number of robust certifications, high demand, high dollar certifications, as you can see. And so we're very, very proud of the work Dean Ulysses Taylor, Dean of the College of Business Economics, and many of our leaders are doing there. But this is the power of this connection here. And again, you see a couple of beautiful and handsome faces that you may recognize in this photo, because it was a high time here, September 22, when we launched this. And as great as our College of Business is, we understand that that's mainly for students that are enrolled at Fayetteville State University. And if our College of Business and Economics is all that, how strategic would it be for them to maybe be located outside of our campus, right across the street, and part of the hub leading that work, so that citizens, whether they be students of Fayetteville State University or not, they too can benefit. And so the Fayetteville Cumberland Regional Entrepreneurial and Business Hub was launched 2022. And at the time where we're focused of being really, truly a one-stop shop for small businesses, bidding opportunities, bonding assistance, government contracts, contract certifications, and access to capital. Again, one-stop shop. Our primary focus, again, we We want to really lock in. Can't necessarily be all things to all people, but where are we really locking in here to make sure that we feel like it's worthwhile investment, and at the same time it's trackable and monitored. We can monitor success. So our primary focus is to help women and minority-owned business hub. Our veteran-owned businesses, many of us are aware. I hear the statistics. We hear the statistics all the time. Thousands upon thousands are transitioning from Fort Bragg, and what is our clip in terms of keeping them here and them going to other cities or beyond? Veteran-owned businesses, we really want to put a focus there. And then our locally owned businesses with a twist. Fayetteville, no doubt about it, Cumberland County, but also understanding our position here as a public university and making sure that in addition to Cumberland, we're very, very thoughtful about the 9 other counties that somewhat make up the Sand Hills region, because we understand the great needs of our area and of our region here. And so real laser focus, minority women-owned businesses, a hub, veteran businesses, locally owned, really laser focus, making sure that we undergird Cumberland and the 9 surrounding counties. So we have an update. We have a first-year report. So, we launched September 2022, so, we still couldn't put wallpaper in the building and getting tables and chairs and things of that nature. So 2023 was really the first calendar year that we were able to really set the monitor, track, and so happy to report out our first full year report. As you can see by the photos, we've had over 300 events, over 5,000 participants. Some of you have poked your head in a time or two. We've had over 2,500 registered clients. But this is where it really gets exciting. From 2023, we've had 54 new businesses launched, and we've created over 240 new jobs. We're just getting started. So, proof of success and accelerated growth among undeserved segments. Again, remember I told you we're very locked in, very laser being focused in those 4 key areas: minority, women-owned, veteran-owned businesses, and local-owned businesses. So you see the distribution. We're happy to report that in our first year, we had approximately $30 million in contracts won with FSU's Hub assistance. And you see the breakdown of that 30 million, 94% locally owned. Remember the 10-county radius, 77% minority women owned, 80% veteran owned, and awarded to at least one of the segments, 98%. I think a good start. We're not there yet, hadn't reached the mountaintop. But again, we're laser being focused. We mean what we say. Our motto is rest non-verbal, deeds not words. And we were looking forward to the day to kind of show you a little bit of a progress report and also show you the kind of return that we're making on the investment. But what's next? Remember now, we're just really getting started. And as I captured here, 2021 was a big year. And so, at least at Fayetteville State alone, we have over 200 million appropriated for projects here at Fayetteville State University. But we think we've got a great runway to really seize and make the most of the moment here. And it's just a good visual of what's going to be happening just on our campus alone. And that's not counting what's happening in the county, the 300 million, et cetera. So the Health and Wellness Center, that's got to get built by fall of 2025. A new residence hall, got to get built by fall 2025. A College of Education, got to be built by fall 2026. A new parking deck has to be built by fall 2025. Cook Building, 2026, 2027. That was a new investment here. But then we have over $55 million of major repairs and renovation that's happening on campus here. And again, although it's on our campus, we are locked in and in tune with the hub. because many of the notifications, many of the bidding process, things of that nature is happening right there. Again, we're really focused in Fayetteville, Cumberland, and the surrounding counties. And so we're really excited about the near future. But listen, I'm excited, and I can see some of your eyelids getting heavy here. But it really does come down to the power of one. You know, you've seen dollar amounts, and you've seen percentages, stats, and facts, and data, et cetera. But I thought we'd take a moment here, and you'll have somebody in real live, in the flesh, Mr. Eddie Lucas, owner, a construction contractor. And he has a very mighty, powerful story that I'd like for him to come up and share at this time.
Good evening, Mr. Lucas.
Good evening. Appreciate you all having me here this evening. My name is Eddie Lucas. I'm the owner of Prexico Construction. I'm here with my partner, Josh Dial. I recognize him for being here with me. We're a local-based construction company here in Fayetteville, and I'm a proud service-disabled, veteran-owned business, and I'm a Hub-certified business as well. I'm here to thank the City Council for your support of businesses like mine through your support of the Fayetteville Cumberland Regional Entrepreneurial and the Hub Business Department. My business specializes in residential rehabs, reconstructions, modular housing units, and commercial construction. I'm pleased to say that with the assistance of the Hub in 2023, we were able to accomplish quite a few things. One, we were state certified. They helped me get state certified with the historically underutilized business department. So we're state certified under the Hub. We're able to get bonding and increase our bonding capacity. We're able to learn how to search for new business opportunities, hire new employees, and also we have become one of the fastest growing, largest contractors, winning multiple state contracts. The Hub Business Department and the services they provided was very instrumental with our success last year. I appreciate the one-stop shop through the Hub business. They were able to provide training, one-on-one support, sit down to help us fill out the paperwork, and really contributed to our growth and our prosperity last year. We look forward to the opportunities to work and to serve the city of Fayetteville, the county, the state, to serve those who serve us with our military community, and to give back to our church and those also who are in need. And we also look forward to continuing to work with you all on future projects and to work with the business hub and working with you on future projects. So I can't tell you how thankful I am for you for the opportunity and for how you've invested in the hub. It's really helped us out tremendously. We really look forward to working with y'all.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Lucas is a modest man, and I want to preface it the right way. And it's for the next few years, you mind sharing what you've been able to secure by way of contracts?
Yes, sir. So we were able to secure, in 2023, we were able to secure almost $20 million worth of contracts. Also, we're looking forward to growing that to a potential of up to $50 million worth of contracts in the next few years. So,
fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
It's been tremendous help. We look forward to opportunities working with the state and also working with y'all with city contracts and also the Fayetteville State for future projects.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. So thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Mr. Lucas. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So just want to say thank you. His testimony is Fayetteville testimony. That again, real tangible returns on the investment, not a cost, but real tangible return on the investments. And there are many more stories like his that I know that are out there. And with the continued partnership with Fayetteville State University in the city, I'm sure we'll capture that, and it'll be one of one of the things that you've done, one of the many things you have done that you'll look back over and be so very proud of. And so, Mayor, that concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Did have a couple for you, Chancellor. Councilmember Hare.
Yes, and thank you, Chancellor. Of course, you know, I'm a big supporter of the Merchant Road Corridor, so whatever we can do that's up and moving forward, of course, we like that. But I don't know if it was a question or ask, was to Mr. Eddie Lucas, if he had any, because I didn't see it in your PowerPoint there, if you have any of your business cards that you could share with us, if you just give them to that young lady there on the end, our clerk, and pass it around, we would appreciate it. You said that you were interested also in doing great business actually with the city of Fayetteville, and we're always in need of great support. And glad to hear about your story tonight. Thank you.
Thanks,
Councilman.
Chancellor, I did also want to echo his comments to thank you for the presentation. You and your team have made tremendous progress in a short amount of time, and certainly look forward to where we're coming. Do want to kind of allude to the first part of the comments where it showed the need. We did a disparity study here after years of debate. Commend the previous councils or whoever was a part of that, just to show us kind of where we were, to show that even though we had the highest percentage of minority or black-owned businesses, several minority-owned businesses, but in particular to show the disparity between the I think it was 0.5% for African-American businesses. As I looked at your numbers, I was very impressed with the minority. Do you also have a breakdown of that as to how many African-American contracts are out of that percentage number?
I'm looking to our leadership team here, and
if you don't,
we can always follow
yeah,
up.
we can circle back, because I just want to, certainly rising tide lifts all boats, and small business in general is
right.
the lifeblood of anybody's economy. So I'm glad to see the capacity being built. But we are, as a council, very intentional about attempting to do local and minority participation in all of our contracts. And Ms. Toon is very aware of that, and she does a great job, her and her team, making sure we do that. So just look forward to continued success, to continue these businesses. If any of the businesses are watching us tonight, or if you have plans on starting a business, that your hub also helps with that as well, regardless of what stage you're in.
right.
Certainly, he is a testament to the growth of where a business can go and continue to grow. But also, if you have an idea, if you need a business plan, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, we are one-stop shop. So again, at no cost to our citizens. And that's not to say that it doesn't cost. And that's why the investment that we secure here, the partnership with the city and abroad. And there's a reason why we have those investments, because there's real need. And so literally it's a one-stop shop. Everything that you heard from Lucas. And I want to make sure I underscore, although I don't have the particular statistics, I do have the high level. Mm. Now, first year, $30 million was secured. And you just heard from a gentleman of color.
Awesome. Yeah.
They got about 90% of that.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm sure, again, we're just starting.
Right.
But I'm sure that when we get to some of the details that really highlight that, I think we're off to a good start. And before I end, I want to make sure that we have our leadership stand here. Our executive director of the Hub, one of the hardest working individuals I know, Dr. Tamara Colvin. And then the proud dean, and rightfully so, of our College of Business Economics, Broadwell College of Business Economics, Dr. Ulysses Taylor. We're off to the good start, leaders, and we're so proud of the partnership, so happy for the partnership.
So did have another question from Councilmember Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I didn't want to have to regurgitate what you were saying, but let me just respond by saying this. It's good to hear that. Me and City Manager Mr. Hewitt was on the show this morning. We talked about the Entrepreneurship Hub. And I'm glad that the presentation is coming today, because the facts is when most of us, four of us, when we first got on council, one of the first things that came across was disparity treatment. And the facts are, out of $1 million, black-owned business got 0.01% of those businesses. And it was astounding, and it's something that has been on my mind, and I'm glad that you're answering the city's call. But I guess my question would be is, how do we get more people, and I know you're a one-stop shop, but how do we get more people informed about the Entrepreneurship Hub? How do we, because we run across, let me speak for myself, I run across people all the time that needs license, that needs insurance. How do we get them engaged?
I think we're starting. See, we're starting today. And this is where I say it's very important. It's one thing to give a lot of rhetoric. It's another thing when you're showing substance. So we could not, as a university, couldn't wait to get before you, council, because you all, hopefully the buttons on your chest are popping out a little bit here, so because you should be proud. And again, this is just the first full calendar year of results. And mind you, at Fayetteville State University, we haven't started yet in terms of the short period of time, the kind of work, millions of dollars that's got to come out the ground here in roughly a short period of time. So it's no different than the news, how it transpires in our communities, barbershop,
Yes, sir.
beauty shop. And when we have more individuals like Mr. Lucas, who say, hey, I took the time to visit the hub, and this is a result for me. I think that happens more and more. People, they hear it all, but if they start seeing it, I think they'll start believing it, and we're leaning in here. So we want to be thoughtful, we want to be strategic, we want to make sure the information that we're providing you is tried and true. But I think we're on to something here real quick, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, Dr. Allison, let me just say that I was one of the ones that stuck my head in it, and I am sticking my chest out, sir. Great job.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Chancellor. Thank you to your
you.
team for a great job. Let's give them another round of applause for. All right, Council, as we move from the announcements and recognition and reports, we'll move to 5.0's the City Manager's Report.
Thank you, Mayor and members of council. Nothing big to report tonight, and so as always, I'll just ask citizens to sign up for the city manager's weekly newsletter, and you can do so by going to the City of Fayetteville's website, which is www.fayetteville.fayetteville.nc.gov, and it's at the top of the homepage. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Council, as we move to approval of the agenda, I understand there's a consent item that will be pulled for up or down vote, as well as an item that will be potentially tabled. So at the approval of the agenda, Madam Attorney, we can place the consent item. Councilmember Green, if you choose, maybe you approve the agenda with 9.02 as that item, replacing 8.04, moving it to 9.02, and then tabling item 9.01 per council's request.
Correct.
All right. So Councilmember Green, is a motion to approve?
Yes, motion to approve.
All right, is a motion to approve the agenda to remove item 8.04 or reorganize item 8.04 to 9.02, and to remove or table item 9.01 to a later meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So there's a motion by Councilmember Green, seconded by Councilmember Hare. Discussion on the motion?
Point of inquiry, does the matter 9.01 need to be tabled at that point of the agenda, or can we really preemptively table it?
It can all be done at one time.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
All right, attorney. All right, so there's a motion. Any other discussion on the motion, on the Green Hair motion? All right, council, look to you for votes on this. All right, Madam Clerk, that is unanimous by those present and voting. We'll move to the consent items, 8.0. Councilman Pullen, you had something?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'll be a council member tonight.
All right.
Just a 7.0.
7.0 public forum, that got moved up in there. Okay. All right. So Per council policy 120.9, this is a time that residents may have input and a voice in what goes on in their city. The public forum will not last any longer than 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes to address the city council on issues related to the city of Fayetteville. No time will be yielded to any other speaker by another speaker. Individuals desiring to speak at tonight's public forum should have signed up with the city clerk's office no later than 5 p.m. on the day of the meeting. When the clerk calls your name, please come to the podium, clearly state your name and address for the record. When the light located on the podium or when you're notified that you have 30 seconds remaining, you'll be notified, and we need to update this language because it still has the green, yellow lights, but they don't. Okay, all right. All right, when the light turns from green to yellow, you have 30 seconds left, and when the light turns to red, that means your time has expired. Any speakers at the public forum list that did not get an opportunity to address the council will have an option to have their name placed at the beginning of the next scheduled public forum list of speakers. So with that, Madam Clerk, please call the first speaker.
Mayor, we have 10 speakers this evening. Our first speaker is Ms. Lene McCune. Ms. Lene McCune, not present. Our next speaker is Ms. Antoinette Mormon.
Good evening, Ms. Mormon.
Good evening. Esteemed members of the City Council, my name is Antoinette Mormon, and I am the founder of Dreams to Goals, an organization dedicated to serving the underserved within our community. Today, I'm honored to present a proposal from Dreams to Goals. This proposal serves as a testament to our unwavering commitment to Fayetteville and Cumberland County's prosperity. Allow me to share the personal journey that led to the creation of our transformative initiatives. Over the years, I've had the privilege of listening to the voices of our community members as they shared their struggles with accessing essential resources. From education to employment to housing, the challenges were diverse and deeply felt. It became clear to me that existing programs often fell short, leaving many individuals feeling overlooked and underrepresented. I heard stories of single fathers living out of their cars despite holding down jobs, and of diligent job seekers facing rejection after rejection due to lack of employable skills. These experiences weighed heavily on my heart, driving me to dig deeper and seek solutions. Through my research, I discovered that while resources existed, they were often fragmented, inadequate, or inaccessible to those who needed them the most. Moreover, the lack of follow-up meant that the true impact of these programs remained unknown. In response, I envisioned a program that would serve as a comprehensive hub, connecting individuals with the resources that they need to thrive. Dreams to Goals became the embodiment of this vision, with the Bridging the Gap and Safe Space programs at its core. Our mission is clear: to pilot individuals from cradle to grave, ensuring they have the support and resources necessary to achieve self-sufficiency. Through strategic partnership and unwavering dedication, we're transforming lives and building a brighter future for Fayetteville and Cumberland County. In conclusion, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your time and consideration today. Dreams to Goals stand ready to lead the charge in creating lasting change for our community. Together, we can turn dreams into tangible realities for every member of Fayetteville and Cumberland County. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your good work.
Mayor, our next speaker is Mr. Chalico Hurst. Mr. Chalico Hurst. No problem. Our next speaker is Miss Deanna Royal. Miss Deanna Royal. Our next speaker is Miss Channing Purdue.
Good evening, Ms. Purdue.
Good evening. I did have some documents that I'm passing out in regard to what I'm speaking tonight. My name is Channing Purdue. I live at 1531 Cedar Creek Road. I have been here before speaking to you in regards to some flooding in Locks Creek, specifically our property. Our entire farm was in 3 feet of water we had to relocate our entire family and our entire farm livestock. So tonight I'm here for something completely different. I'm a mother of 4 kids, wife to my husband Brandon. He's currently serving 22 years in the United States Army as an engineer at FORSCOM. I'm also a farmer. I'm a woman-owned farmer. I have attended the Fayetteville State Hub stuff. It's absolutely amazing, and I wish more people knew about it because it really is a fantastic resource for the community. So together we own about 400 acres on Cedar Creek Road. Our house and property is about 10 acres. We own a house next door, and we also own 389 acres across the street. We have been landowners for 6 years, and we've lived in Cumberland County for 16 years. We've been citizens in Fayetteville for 6. I'm here today to discuss the properties at 1674 and 1666 Cedar Creek Road and 1678 Fields Road. These are all on the Cedar Creek Road area. I did first speak at a zoning commission meeting on February 13th. 2 council members were there. So they were able to hear both my husband and I's talking points on that. And we did plan to speak at the meeting for the owner's request to be not rezoned, but anyway, so after discussing 5 different reasons that the zoning commission, why this should not be zoned in the city, and why there should not be a development on this property, I've concluded that facts matter. I received the technical review committee comments from the application of the owners, Darren Collins and the Charleston Group, that they applied for. The date of the application was March 20th. The report was completed on March 24th, and this was over a month after the zoning meeting was done, and when the owner stated that these reviews were already in preliminary review. So this was false information that he stated. Because this is a pre-application, there is not enough accurate information that was concluded from each department. I spoke to Tom Charles at the Corps of Engineers. He was not aware of any project in this area, nor was he consulted by the NC Department of Environmental Quality or the City of Fayetteville Planning and Engineering Department. After looking at the map of the property, he concluded that every area of that property that are wooded are considered wetlands. He also stated that stormwater mitigation. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms.
The stormwater
Ms. Purdue?
Yes.
I'm sorry, your 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, your next speaker is Ms. Lizette Rodriguez. Ms. Lizette. There she is.
Good evening, Ms. Rodriguez.
Hello again. Lizette Rodriguez, 1701 Cherokee Drive. Hello, Mayor, Council, and City Manager. You probably already know what I'm here to talk about today. So as you may all know, 2 weeks ago, our organization, Fayetteville Freedom for All, hosted a documentary screening at the Cameo. And we showcased the documentary, Heart Serving Our Neighbors in Crisis. And the community was able to participate in a Q&A with some of the Durham Heart staff members. Thanks to council members Lynn Green and Mario Benavente for attending. We had 50 folks attend across all races, all age groups. We had young people, we had teenagers, families, seniors, medical professionals, and members of our unhoused community show up. And I think that audience truly represents our community here in Fayetteville. And after the screening, we received the most incredible feedback from the audience in attendance. And so many people asked us, what can we do to help make this a reality? I wanted to share a story with you about my experience at a community watch meeting recently. I initially went there to drop off flyers promoting our event, but the person hosting the watch meeting insisted I stay to talk about the Office of Community Safety. And one thing in particular that stood out during the meeting was one of the residents in attendance who asked the police officer there if they thought this office would benefit their job. And to my pleasant surprise, the officer said yes and proceeded to share that there were multiple residents in his neighborhood that he patrols, that he talks to or visits on a weekly basis, sometimes multiple times a week because they're calling 911 for help during their mental health episodes. We'd like to remind the council that this new mental health response team is an investment into the health, safety, and well-being of Fayetteville residents. That this office needs to be treated with the same respect and seriousness as it would for other safety departments like the police and fire department. Because if we do this right, this new alternative response will be the equivalent to a first responder unit. And it needs to be viewed as such. Our community needs this. In the Fayetteville Police Department's third quarter report, they stated that suicides in Fayetteville are up 52%. And we know that FPD gets 4,000 mental health calls a month. So not only is this an investment into the residents, but it is also a cost-saving measurement. The CAHOOTS program in Eugene, Oregon saves the city $8.5 million a year on public safety annually and $14 million a year in emergency services. And our organization is working with the North Carolina Budget and Tax Center to identify these potential cost savings for Fayetteville. In closing, I want to caution the council to learn from mistakes regarding the Day Resource Center. It was a great first step, but the Day Resource Center failed to meet expectations.
Ms. Rodriguez, thank you.
Mayor, our next speaker is Mr. Sean McMillan.
Good evening, Mr. McMillan.
Good evening. Sean McMillan, 6224 Golden Range Drive. You can't escape trauma by ignoring it. You only escape trauma by confronting it. It's a quote from Isabel Wilkerson, the author of Caste, The Origins of Our Discontent. Trauma is what has been left in the wake of several deadly interactions between police and residents of Fayetteville over the last several years. We continue to mourn the loss of 22-year-old Jada Johnson, shot 17 times by the FPD in July of 2022, while suffering a mental health crisis. We also recognize the trauma experienced by the family of Justin Livesey, shot and killed by the police a month later. We can draw a direct line from Najee Hagans, who was shot in the back by FPD in January of 2013, and those we lost in 2023, because trauma is also with the family and friends of Lawrence Artis, who died in police custody almost 6 months ago to this day in October of 2023, or DeMarcus Brody, killed by the FPD on Thanksgiving of last year. The question we're left with is, what could we have done to save lives in the 10 years that separated those incidents? Why were these traumas ignored? We appreciate the majority of you saying yes to the OCS, but the job is not done. We urge you to fully fund $3 million, 1% of the municipal budget, to the OCS and its 4 pillars. One is mental health response. Another is resources to the unhoused. Another is violence interruption and mentorship programs. And the last is independent oversight. We're looking forward to working towards establishing these programs together, and the April 30th summit feels like a good step forward. Please act on recent suggestions to also establish an interagency task force, partnering with the entities from the county like Social Services and the Department of Health. Please remember all of the suggestions to center impacted people of Fayetteville throughout every phase of the development of these programs. As we move forward, we also urge members of this council to reach out to state electeds like Representative Charles Smith and Senator Val Applewhite, who have signaled support for the OCS, as well as federal electeds in the U.S. Congress who could be our advocates in a multi-level funding strategy, municipally, statewide, and federally. You can't escape trauma by ignoring it. You only escape trauma by confronting it. Especially for those of you who have been in the seat multiple terms, there comes a time when we have to hold you accountable for what you have or have not done to confront this collective trauma. To say that the time to confront this trauma and heal this community is now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, our next speaker is Mr. Joel Cook.
Good evening, Mr. Cook.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm going to try to talk slower than I normally do. Hello, my name is Joel Cook. I'm with Fayetteville Freedom for All as well, and I'm here to speak up in favor of fully funding the Office for Community Safety. For me, what's sticking out to me every time I hear about the office is the experiences that my father had. His dad was a veteran of the Korean War, a combat veteran. He came home from that. He was not a very nice man. When he came home, they had a terrible relationship with each other. That is something that sticks out to me because I never had a chance to meet my grandfather because of what that did to him and how he didn't have the resources to help him. He died 15 years before I was born, so I never had a chance to meet him. I've never even seen his grave. My maternal grandfather was really active in the civil rights movement in Fayetteville. And he had run-ins with the police department where he suffered abuse during that time period. And it stuck with him, but he didn't really talk to us about it because that's not what people did back then. That's not what boomers do. They don't really talk about that stuff. And even if he wanted to, he didn't have the resources either. And then it's not just those generations that experience that. It's not the veterans. It's not the people that are out trying to do civil rights stuff. It's also their families when they go home. So like I said, my dad dealt with a veteran who was going through it, and that affected him. He broke that chain when it came to me, and I appreciate that. But there are a lot of young people in this city who don't have people that are able to break those chains, and it's not their parents' fault. It's just that they need help. So like Lisette was saying, we have these young people in this community who need this resource as well. There were parents at that Hearts program that we had who were asking about resources for their children. And then there were also veterans there and houseless people who will probably have veteran friends that are also houseless who need those things as well. So I'm just here to ask for support and funding fully the Office of Community Safety. The city has a $300 million budget. We're asking for 1%. It's $3 million. I think that we call ourselves Fayetteville Freedom for All because we truly believe in things that support every demographic of the city in achieving the best possible outcomes for their life. I really do think that the Office of Community Safety is something that can do that for us. Not just a small group of people, but every demographic in the city really could benefit from this. And it's a first responder public service that could really benefit every single person in this community. And I'm fully in support of it, and I hope all of you are going to do that too. Look forward to seeing you all on April 30th. And I actually made it to 3 minutes, so I'm excited. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Mayor, our first speaker is actually here, Miss Lanae McCune.
Oh, yeah, she was there. Okay.
Hi, my name is Lanya McCoon, and I have spoken with the Director of Parks and Recreations to build a obstacle course in the city of Fayetteville for the Spartan people, because there's a gym called iFit out here, and I know the owner, so she said if we can get a park built that's designated for Spartan races, her members can come there, and then the city, the people in the city, the homes, the children, all that, they can all use it, because the races are in Charlotte, they're in Raleigh, they're in Durham, they're all over, but there's nowhere to train out here in Fayetteville. So I figured I partner with Move Strong, and then they'll come down here, and I wanted to actually speak to the guy for the contractor, because we're looking for developers right now as we speak, so I think he'll be a perfect person that we can merge with. And to get this project started, because I am loving fitness. I go to the gym every day. I own Queen of All Things, so I was fitness lines for bands and like clothes and stuff. So I just want to get people to be more mobile and into fitness and stuff. And what better way to me than to bring a Spartan Park in the city of Fayetteville? So that's all I wanted to do, is just introduce the idea to you guys, because soon it will be manifested. You will see what I'm saying really soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McCoon.
Mayor, our next speaker is Miss Angela Tatum Malloy. Ms. Malloy? Okay. Our final speaker is Mr. Andrew Faircloth. Mr. Faircloth? That's all, sir.
All right. Thank you to those who've spoken. And for the information, and typically the council doesn't respond, so if we're sitting here, it doesn't mean we didn't hear you. It's just a part of the policy. We don't respond. But thank you all for signing up to speak and participating. Council, at this time, we'll move to 9.02, which was formerly 8.04, and go to Councilmember Green.
Mayor Colvin, I know we're doing a little 8.0.
Oh, till we move this order around, so I got to get used to it. All right, because typically public forum came after the consent. Okay, but I got you. All right, so moving to 8.0, council, I'll entertain a motion to approve consent.
So move to approve consent.
All right, there's a motion by Councilmember Harris, seconded by Councilmember Thompson. Discussion on the motion? All right, council, look to you for action on consent approval. All right, Madam Clerk, that's unanimous by those voting. Now, 9.02, formerly 8.04. Councilmember Green.
Don't get me tonight, sir. We already tabled it.
8.04?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. We're going to 9.02.
Okay.
No, you got me that time.
All
Okay.
right. We got to keep each other straight.
She pumped up tonight. I know why.
Oh,
We got her so pumped.
okay. All right.
That's okay.
All right, council, we'll move to this item and then have a very special announcement before we conclude. Councilmember Green.
Okay, thank you. That was interesting getting here, but we're here now.
Finally.
Thank you. I had asked for this to be pulled and done as a separate up-down vote. I just wanted to say a few words on this and let everybody understand my vote. This was a request for an additional $1.5 million on the Fire Station Number 4 project. I understand we had a lot of discussion upstairs on this item. I understand that there's been a number of issues on this project and a lot of workmanship issues, quality issues. Staff has met with the bonding company, and we're awaiting information as to whether the bonding company is going to step in. However, I'm not comfortable in allocating this amount of money to this project without hearing from the bonding company and knowing what they're going to do. I understand the reasons. There were reasons to do it and reasons not to do it. I'm just not comfortable doing it with my background. But so that is why I'm not going to support this vote.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. So, council, with that, we'll need a motion to approve or not 8.04. Formerly 804, now 902. All right. Is that Councilmember Hare?
Yes, sir. I move to approve.
All right. So motion by Councilmember Hare, seconded by Councilmember Thompson, I think, pushed his button. Discussion on the motion to approve. Only discussion I had, I do plan to vote for it because I know we need to complete this. But, Mr. Manager, we need some check-ins if there are overages. I know you're trying to estimate what the completion will be. And then, Madam Attorney, as the litigation is resolved or goes through the process, if we have overfunded any of this, I want it on the record that immediately will come back to council so that it can be placed back in fund balance.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Hewitt, we good? All right. All right, Councilmember Thompson. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to be known, and correct me if I'm wrong, in most cases, nothing's guaranteed, but in most cases, we will receive these monies back anyway.
Well, I'm not saying about the litigation because you can't predict that. But I think when we discussed this previously, they were estimating the cost to finish in addition to what we already had allocated. They were estimating the oversight, the client manager process. So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Mr. Mayor. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Council, any other further discussion? All right, look to you for action on this item. Who are we missing? Still missing one. Who hadn't voted, Jen? Councilman Hondros? All right. Wow. Motion fails. 4-5. Those voting in favor. We need those voting in favor. Councilmember Hare, Thompson, Colvin Davis. Those voting opposed: Hondros, McNair, Banks, McLaughlin, Green, and Benavente. So motion fails. All right, council. As we move to admin reports, I had talked to Councilman Benavente, and I'll go to him.
I got
go ahead, and I'll circle back to you, but before we dismiss, I need to catch. Councilmember Benavente?
Thank you, Mayor Colvin. I move that we have 10.01 presented during a work session, the very next work session, I believe, in May.
I agree with that. There's second to that, since we did it in form of a motion. This was an item that we had came and got consensus, and I think they're bringing it back. So seconded by Councilmember Davis. All right, discussion on the motion. All right, seeing none, council, look to you for your votes for this to be moved to the May work session. Ms. Paula, can you clear the... All right, council, show of hands. Those in favor of moving this to a work session? All right, it's unanimous.
There she goes.
All right. All right, and council, before we adjourn, I'd like to introduce to some and present to others our new city attorney, Mrs. Lachelle Pullum, who was our interim. So congratulations, ma'am. So we look forward to working with you. You've been on the team, but now in the official capacity as the city's attorney. So we welcome you. All right, council, any other items? Councilmember Harry, you had something?
Yes, sir, Mayor. Okay, thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to make sure that that we have some clarity here on our 9.01. I know we said that we would move to table it, but it kind of left it flat bed there. And are we, as council, going to be okay with it coming to the back to the appointments committee, and we give you the direction and then send it back out to you all? And is that okay? Because as of right now, we're saying we're going to table it for council or table it for the appointments committee.
Well, Councilman Benavente had a question.
More of a point of order. I think in this case, we took action to table it, and I believe that there's a very specific process of getting it off there and brought back to a city council where it can be discussed whether or not to send it to the committee. So I would ask our city attorney to double check exactly the process of bringing something off the table and back onto the agenda, but I don't think we can do that this evening.
Well, it's just a motion to put it back on the table. We don't need a motion to reconsider because the motion is to table. But
that's already been done, and now we're past that point in the agenda, so that's already been completed. We can't go back now and have a discussion about how we should table it.
Yeah, council can take any action council desires to take. If council would like to remove it from the table, we can have a motion to remove it from the table and clarify the date you want to bring it back.
Well, I was just trying to get some, as chair, I wanted to get some clarity on if it meant period.
Well, I think there were two things. One, I think the appointments committee made the recommendation and caught the error.
The clerk.
Yes, and so sending it back to the appointments committee, if council hadn't concluded how we're going to resolve it, I don't know if that would be a fruitful point or not. I thought some of the discussion was bring it back when the next term. Prior to the next term expiration.
That's fine then. I just wanted some clarity on it because we sort of left us.
But I'll go. I got a couple of questions here. Councilmember Thompson, Hondros, and then Benavente. Was that from previous? Well, just hold on. I'll circle back to you.
Yes, sir.
I'm clear, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Hondros.
I was going to move to add 10.02 to the work session in May as well.
No. I don't want
All right, so hold on. Okay, Councilmember Benavente, you had a question on this item.
I think that might have been out of order because we're still on this.
Yeah, well,
but this is why I asked for us not to include the tabling of 9.01 in Councilmember Green's original motion, because clearly we want to have discussion about how we're going to table this. So here we are now. When I asked Attorney Pulliam earlier, can we do both? This is the reason we should not be combining motions together, because technically, yes, we can do whatever we want as a city council, but there's a reason why the technical rule is that you don't combine motions. So I guess, city attorney, or for the point of clarity for our full council, I understand the city attorney's point that we can always break the rules if the majority of us want to, but I don't want to hear that recommendation made to us. I want our city attorney to tell us exactly what the technical rule is. And I understand we can then overrule that, but let's avoid just giving us so much room to make so many mistakes with. So I don't believe we should be having any of this discussion at this point because we had already tabled 9.01. We're past 10.0. We should be at 11.0 right now.
Well, council member, just kind of a point of order. When we approved the agenda, if they were going to reshuffle, replace, I saw her point that could be taken care of. It was going to be taken off the table, and there was a vote taken that took it off the table. Right. But at the conclusion of the meeting, I think Councilmember Hare was trying to get clarification as to whether it's tabled with any date certain or just tabled, which the motion is that it was tabled. So I think the attorney was saying basically if there was some different action that wanted to be taken, that the council had the authority to do that, right?
Yes, Mayor, and just to clarify, procedural motions may be joined, but substantive motions may not be joined. So
okay.
Council's action was proper.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. So, Council, I think Councilmember Hare is clear that it's tabled until reintroduced, and I thought that,
If I could, Mayor.
Okay.
I agree. I understand what the attorney is saying. So let's just, if I could, I'll just withdraw my question of concern. If it's tabled, we let it stay tabled, and then we have our next meeting coming up where we're going to be doing some voting then. It'll be fine just to let it go until then. So that's fine.
all right.
Good.
And all right. So, Council, as we move to the last item, we're still on the administrative report. So, Councilmember Hondros, you had a concern that you wanted to see if the financial report went back to a work session. Is that what you were saying?
Yes, sir, to add it to May's 10.02, add to May's work session.
All right. There's a motion by Councilmember Hondros to add the financial report also to the May work session, seconded by Councilmember Banks and McLaughlin. Any discussion on that? All right, Council, look to you for your votes on this. Yes, this is to move it to the work session. All right, who hasn't voted? Councilmember McNair, what you over there doing? All right, motion carries. Those voting opposed, Councilmember McNair and Davis. So we'll see that on next workshop. All right, motion to adjourn.
So move, sir.
All right, y'all have a good evening.